Sup y'all, it's the boss Idol here. This is a low-end guide on Arknights SSS War-torn Wilderness for the secret medal. If you're a new player who wants to start getting the mats ASAP after just unlocking SSS, or if you're an intermediate player who just wants a consistent strat to beat the SSS with, this guide is for you. The strategy here is a showcase of what's basically been the one of the most consistent way to beat SSS, while also using more or less a weak set of operators, so this strategy should be adaptable to any level of roster. Of course, to even unlock SSS, you'd have to have an already E2 unit of your own, so you yourself should have a bit more leeway when you adapt this strategy to your own roster. And here's the setup. For the directional EC unit, we want the one on the right, which is Royal Academy of Sciences Telescope. Passive and active effects, both of them are just good for the strategy we're going for, and there's also a mission for this, so it's 2 birds with 1 stone. For the tactical equipment configuration, we just want A on everything. For the plan here on the lower left, preferred plan is generally preferred because for most people, because frequently used operators will be prioritized, or the ones that are already raised. This is for when the game gives you an opportunity to add additional units to your team. However, if you're a new player, the free plan might be better because if you're a new player, you won't have a lot of leveled units anyway, right? While the free plan also gives you an opportunity to add, or rather a random chance, it gives you a random chance of getting temporary operators that are already raised Elite 2 level 80. These are the Rhodes Island Elite operators that you also sometimes see in the roguelike modes. But yeah, generally, preferred plan is better, but if you're new, you can consider the free plan. For the sake of this guide, I will be using the free plan. And this is the overall team composition. I'll go over this one by one. First and foremost, we want our vanguards. 4 of them. Low rarity, of course, Yato, Fang, Vanilla, and Plume.
I'm ready.
After this, we want 2 specific defenders, which are going to be this guy and Spot.
Leave it to me.
After this, we want our set of snipers and casters. And these are going to be Rangers and Crews for the snipers. If you have Justice Knight or Terra Research Commission, you can use either of these over Rangers. After this, for the casters, we want 12F, Duran, and Steward.
The secret to staying healthy.
After this, we want the star of the show, which is going to be Goldenglow.
Is there really a use for me on the front?
After this, our medic, which is going to be Ansel. If you have Hibiscus, it's fine, but between the two, Ansel is generally seen as the better low-end medic. Yeah.
I'm here to help everyone.
After this, we are going to use Ethan. I had to ask someone to let me borrow their low-level Ethan. Yeah, it's even skill level 6. That's Aura, by the way. But yeah, we want an Ethan for some specific stages in this map. We are specifically going to be using Ethan for his DOT effect in his skill 1. So Ethan basically does not have to be leveled or raised. It would help, of course, but it's not necessary, is what I'm trying to say here. And yeah, so the rest of the slots are going to be filled with supporters. So sort by deployment cost, sort by supporters, and we want the cheapest supporters you have in your roster. If you have Official or Fonor, these are pretty much the best supporters that you can have for this strategy. But I won't be using them for the sake of, sometimes people don't have them, so yeah. So we are going to add the cheapest supporters in your roster. They don't have to be leveled, they don't have to be strong, they're not going to be used for combat, they just have to be cheap. So I'm going to be adding this, and you. I'm not using these 3, right? Because they're leveled. I want to demonstrate directly that you don't need strong units, or rather strong supporters for this strategy to work. You just need them to be cheap, so yeah.
Time to go, Meeboos.
Okay, so this is pretty much the overall look of this team, right? So the idea here is that we want to build Goldenglow as soon as possible with 5 full equipment. Her alone will be sufficient DPS to get through every map on normal difficulty. Ideally, Goldenglow will be the unit that's borrowed as a support unit, right? So we can guarantee that she's as strong as possible with full level, possibly full leveled mod, skill tree, mastery tree, possibly even max pot while we're at it, right? And if you need a friend that actually has this level of Goldenglow, you can try asking in the various Arknights communities, for example, the Arknights subreddit and the Arknights official Discord. So, Another thing, right? The biggest problem that players have with this game mode, aside from it's tedious, of course, right, is that it can also be sometimes inconsistent because there's an RNG element to the units that you get, right? Sometimes you just don't find the units that you need. However, our strategy here is all about avoiding this RNG problem by giving us a way to just brute force draw through our entire deck, making sure that we always find and build a stack for Goldenglow every single time. Think of the mode as a card game, and our strategy is basically using 6 to 7 pots of greed, draw 2 cards every single time to build our boss monster as fast as possible. The vanguards, of course, are how we are going to pay for all the deploying that we are going to do. The casters and snipers that are cheap and not Goldenglow are the fusion material that we are going to use in order to actually build our boss monster, which is Goldenglow herself. And that's pretty much it for that strategy. If you feel like I didn't explain it well enough, it's something that it's something better seen in practice, to be honest. But yeah, I'll show it to you later. In terms of where you can upgrade, of course, you can just have better vanguards. If you have a 6-star range DPS, for example, if you have a 6-star sniper such as Logos, or a 6-star caster such as Logos, or 6-star snipers such as Wisadel, you can replace Cruise or Steward with them. Like, depends on who you have, really. If you have a ground DPS such as Degenbreaker, Irene, Penance, maybe even Shu, not DPS, but it kind of basically fills the same role, right? You can replace Spot with one of those guys. And yeah, of course, you can also replace Ansel with any medic of your choosing that's already raised, right? And that's pretty much it for places you can upgrade. That's the team. Let's head on over to the first stage. Okay, so this is the first stage. Note that you won't be able to follow my plays one-to-one because of the RNG element of this game mode, so I'll be explaining the idea of how to play, but you yourself will have to be adaptable. Okay, so first and foremost, the pre-operation adjustment. The pattern for this phase is we are going to make sure that we have every Vanguard in our deck in our opening hand. So we are going to be dumping the most expensive units in our hand that are not Vanguards. However, I actually have every Vanguard in our opening hand, so this is pretty chill. We can then just chill, actually. We can actually, if we have all of your Vanguards, you should then like dump your non-Vanguards, non-GG most expensive units still, so that you can maximize getting supporters, since you can easily draw these back anyway.
Hopefully we can get some useful experiment data.
Okay, so that's a bit of a rare case, but you'll see a better pattern in the later stages where having 4 Vanguards doesn't happen. But anyway, what we are going to do now is stack our Vanguards on top of each other like this for this stage on this spot specifically.
Ready for Overwatch. Understood. Leave it to us.
And the idea for stacking our Vanguards on top of each other is for the DP generation. Vanguard equipment is basically bonus SP generation. More SP equals more skills for Vanguards, more skills for Vanguards equals more DP. Quick maths. So after this, we are going to stack snipers and casters on top of each other for Goldenglow to be put on. So I'm gonna deploy Duran here. I'm gonna use this. It's basically free casters and snipers, like so.
Got it. All right.
And I'm going to be drawing for more snipers and casters. I got Cruise, that's great. Okay, so when you get to this situation where you don't have any more Vanguards, you don't have any more snipers or casters, you don't have any more points to draw, you are then going to exhaust your unit limit with supporters, like so. We are exhausting the unit limit so that the supporters are actually helping DPS the enemy waves, right? So that the enemy waves are in their line of rage, so they're attacking the enemies, basically, right? And deploying them also generates us points to draw. So basically, we're helping our setup by having more DPS, and at the same time, we're setting up our actual deck so that we can get to fully building our Goldenglow. So like this.
Got it.
We're now just waiting for Goldenglow. Full stacks Goldenglow, just activate her skill, and you've pretty much won.
Cannot get away from me, please.
And that's pretty much the pattern, really. You just stack your vanguards, stack your snipers and casters on spot for Goldenglow, and deploy supporters as needed if you need to draw. After you finish building your Goldenglow, you can then deploy your defenders on top of the vanguard stack, like so.
Take over for me. Thanks.
And after you do this, you can then build a second DPS unit with with snipers and casters. And then ending towards Cruise or Steward, like so.
I'm listening.
Copy. Got it.
Okay, I'll do it.
Got it.
And that's
Awaiting
full,
orders.
it's not full stacks, but it does get the job done. And that's the first stage, done very easily.
You carried out the plan without the slightest fumble.
Okay,
Not
so
bad.
after some stages in
Facility
SSS...
management would appreciate people like you.
Okay, so after some stages in SSS, you'll have the chance to add additional operators onto your team. In terms of units that you'll want to prioritize, you want supporters because they are the least intrusive. They basically, when you deploy them, you get to draw and they basically cycle themselves out. So their supporters are the least intrusive units you can have. If you don't have supporters as an option, you can then look for snipers or casters. Snipers or casters are good because they basically act as additional equipment for Goldenglow. If you don't have those three classes, you can then look for vanguards because vanguards help in generating DP, which is good, right? However, they're generally the least useful option that you can have, and yeah, you just want to look for those four classes pretty much, and any other classes shouldn't really be considered. So for this setup, well, I would be picking this, but it's level 90, and I'll just pretend this wasn't here. If I was just playing for myself, I'd pick Scadi pretty much all the time, but for the sake of demonstration, I'll pick the Elite 0 level 1 cold shot, which is a sniper, which is still good. However, okay, so when the game does give you an option though, you always pick the option to not add any operators onto your team. The idea that we're working with is that we already have everyone that we would ever need to actually win the game mode. And that's why supporters are essentially the best recommendation. Supporters are the least intrusive, well, second least intrusive. The actual least intrusive option here is not adding any operators because they don't add a bad draw or a draw that you don't want. Supporters they cycle themselves out, but they do still cost DP to pretty much cycle, right? And not having to deal with that is great. So this is the setup right now. Let's head on over to the second stage. Okay, so we are again, or rather not again, because we had 4 vanguards the last time. Okay, so this time we are going to do the pre-operation adjustment the normal way. And by the normal way, it's going to be just dumping the 4 most expensive units in our hand that are not vanguards. So this, and this. Goodbye.
I want to dig a hole in the ground and make a shelter to sleep.
3 vanguards, that's fine. We are going to be stacking our vanguards like so.
Understood.
On this spot facing left side.
Understood.
In position.
And the snipers and casters for Goldenglow are going to be here facing left side.
Got it.
I'm... Follow me. Please hold on.
We now have full stacks Goldenglow. We are ready to go.
I got this.
For this stage, you also want to activate this once you have your Goldenglow going. It's basically a payload that you have to push throughout its entire route. But Goldenglow should easily be able to handle this. After you're finished doing your thing with the Vanguard stacks and Goldenglow, again, we want to build our second DPS unit for this stage on the spot placing website.
Alright. Understood. Treasures always lead to conflict.
Oh,
I went
full
sleep
stacks.
on the job. Take aim. There.
And that's pretty much the second stage for this Arknights SSS, done and dusted
Of course
very
we
easily.
won.
Third stage. Again, we just want to dump our Vanguard, or rather our non-Vanguards, our most expensive non-Vanguard. So you, out
If
of
you
my
feel
hand.
nervous, think about what song you want to sing at the party afterwards.
VG stacks go here, Sniper and Casters go here, facing upwards.
Come on, Mibu. Show them what technology can do. Great, great. I went sleep on the job. Okay. In position. Handle the care. Thrust.
Relax, I'm almost done loading.
And that's full build Goldenglow with only 2 enemies killed. Once GG skill is ready, activate it and watch her pretty much clear the entire map out. A second DPS unit goes here.
Please hold on. Thrust.
Relax, I'm almost done.
Alright.
I went sleep on the job.
Okay, so the third map has some bosses that you'll need to kill, and after you kill them, you'll get a special prize, essentially. It's basically tools that help our run out. So future me should be editing onto the screen right now the set of equipment that you can get. There's 5 of them in total. You want 3 of them. And in terms of priority between those 3, we want equipment activation, recuperation, and preparation. Equipment activation is essentially the best because it's it most directly accelerates the speed in which we get to full stacks Goldenglow, so it's generally the best one. Recuperation and preparation are essentially the same, but there's nuanced differences between the two that make recuperation a generally better overall choice between the two. So I actually got right now the 3 that we want, and okay, so I said that equipment activation is the one you should be prioritizing, right? But for this run, I'll be picking recuperation. If you want a showcase of equipment activation valve, feel free to look at my other guide for the other SSS tower where I had 2 equipment activation valves. For this run though, I want to highlight recuperation area transmitter, so I'll go for this one. But if this is your run and this happens to you, you should always pick equipment activation. And
Sure.
we're kinda at full build right now, so I can't really showcase this at this stage, but I will at the later stages.
Follow me.
Here I come.
Understood.
Yeah.
There you are. I'm just gonna wait, please. There's enemies. I'm so tense.
That's the second boss down. We got recuperation and preparation. I guess okay, so again, in terms of priority, it's equipment activation, recuperation, and then preparation. I have recuperation and preparation here right now. I should be picking recuperation, and I will. Having two of the same equipment is fine, right? It's really no big deal, but generally speaking, this one is better because recuperation gets from the graveyard, which is much easier to control than the deck. When you use this, when you use this, it draws from the graveyard, which is much easier to control. The other one, preparation, draws from the deck, and it's more or less a crapshoot whether or not you actually get something useful from preparation.
Here I
And while with recuperation, you actually have more agency.
am.
Is the big difference here.
Here I am. Wait, please.
And that's the third stage done and dusted.
The Doctor's brilliant command is the key to victory.
After the third stage, you'll then have the chance to upgrade your directional EC unit. We just want the one on the left, just look at what the passive effect upgrade says, and then think of who we are building our strategy around on. Goldenglow. Of course this is good, so we are picking this one. This is a team, let's head on over to the fourth stage. Fourth stage, same pattern as always. We just want to dump our our most expensive units that are not vanguards. Of course, GG is an exception. We want to keep her, so we are not dumping her on this rule. So Hugh, not you, you're a vanguard. You get out of my hand,
Got this.
and
I can
vanguard
do
stack
this.
goes here.
Understood.
Understood.
I'm gonna try to look for a supporter right now.
Is
Or
that
a sniper, but actually I can just use this, right? And the reason why this is good, I'm gonna show you right now.
What a pain. Great drill. Hands
There,
on your
yeah.
head.
I
Move.
okay. I made sure that I only had these three used, right? And watch what I'm going to do with my recuperation. Recuperation can only get those three because this gets 4 units from my graveyard. There's only 3 units in my graveyard. I'm guaranteed to get these 3, and I'm going to recycle these 2. I'm gonna use this again. I got more free units. How many are in my graveyard? Yep. I'm gonna do this just for the sake of hand space. I'm gonna use this again, recuperation, and I'm getting this back again.
Let's take it slow.
Okay, see why this is really good?
What a pain. This halberd isn't just for show.
GG goes on this spot facing right side and let her cook. Activate her skill whenever it's up and you are good to go.
Can I? Yeah.
Next DPS unit goes on this spot facing right side. Ideally, you want to be ending on not Goldenglow, on Cruise for this specific tile.
Got it.
I'm gonna use this.
Got clear blue here. Hope they don't got the same.
Kind of keeps these practice. That bill faded.
Mine's always neat. Leverage.
Understood. Make it fast. Who do you want me to target?
Got it.
Get over there. Please.
All right.
Okay, so now we have full stacks Cruise on this spot. And the reason why I wanted Cruise is because of her range as a marksman, right? The edge of her range hits these 3 tiles, right? Which makes her great for this spot because this spot is all about hitting the spiders that go around this red box. Any other unit that also hits these ranges is fine, but the one I have right now, and the one you probably have right now if you're following this guide, is Cruise. So, Cruise it is.
Everyone, follow me.
Here I come.
Why can't everyone try to get along? Ready to heal.
Relax, I'm almost done reloading.
Can I do this? There. Take aim. Great drill. Hands on your head. Don't move. Okay, I'll do it. There you are. Can I see that? This time, I must.
Got it. Time to fight? I gotta hide first.
Can I please see that? Take aim.
And that's the 4th stage, done pretty easily. The recuperation recycle trick is really powerful, and I hope that whole thing demonstrated it. Okay, LT5. Take note, this is the actual hardest stage of this SSS tower. So if you're going to lock in for only one stage in this SSS tower, make sure it's this one. And this is because you're basically going to be juggling between two things. You're going to be juggling between actually holding your blue box here and making sure that the payload from the south side of the map gets towards the north side of the map. So the route for the payload is, follow my cursor right now, it goes from here to here, that's one payload, here to here, number 2, here to here, number 3, and here to here, number 4. You're basically going to be managing pushing that payload while also defending your thing, your blue box rather. So, but yeah, you're going to be doing that, but the pattern for the pre-operation adjustment stays the same. Dump your most expensive units that are not vanguards.
All operators, be on alert.
I didn't get any recuperations. I'm trying to look for one. I didn't find one. It's fine. It is what it is. Stack your vanguards here. I'm gonna use this. I got a free Goldenglow. That's fine. It is what it is.
Understood.
Treasure.
I smell something unpleasant burning.
This is a bit of a low roll. However, it's fine. It is what it is.
Everyone, follow me!
I'm waiting for orders.
Relax, I'm almost done reloading.
This time, I must.
Goldenglow fully built without even any recuperation tricks at 0 enemies killed. Make sure to activate GG skill as soon as it's up. After that, we are going to be building our second DPS unit on this spot facing right side.
Can I jump? One's new, before the curtains. It's just for show.
Make sure to activate this as soon as you can once you finished building. Once you finished building your Goldenglow. I'm saving this so I can do the recuperation trick for this.
Okay, I'll do it.
However, we do need to draw at the moment, so I'm going to be using this to dig for supporters. Or this, I guess. I just got it for free. Why not? I am not mad at all.
This time, I must. Can I there?
Once you get your Ethan, you also want to be deploying your Ethan on this spot facing downwards. Also, this is the only stage that... This is the stage that's the reason why I actually I actually recommend including Ethan onto your team in the first place. This stage is actually doable without Ethan. However, I've found it way too inconsistent for the average person who needs a guide anyway without Ethan, so I only really included Ethan here for the sake of consistency. This is because his S1 is a damage over time effect, which helps with pushing the payloads. Without him, it kind of gets a bit more, I don't know, technical, I suppose, or tricky. But yeah, having Ethan here is a lot ease of use for what little investment he requires. He doesn't even have to be raised. He can be Elite 0 level 1 as long as he has S1 up. He should be doing his job. I'm going to be doing...
Please hold on.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this, and
Equipment isn't cheap.
I did that. I said I wanted to end on cruise on this spot, right? However, I deployed cruise. For what reason, you may ask? It's because I can just use this to recycle cruise. Welcome back to the team.
I won't sleep.
We're just waiting for this payload.
Here I am. Can I get up?
Second DPS unit goes here, facing upward, or rather third. Why am I saying second? Right?
Take aim. Wait, hands on your head. Don't move. Get away from me, please.
We are then waiting for this payload.
There you are. Stumble, stumble.
Life's always used. Leverage.
Take aim.
Make sure that you're activating GG skill as soon as it's up.
Here I am. Want to dance, John?
Got a clear view here. Hope they don't got the same.
Again,
There you
just
are.
use GG skill as soon as it's up.
I'm so tired.
I'm not gonna deploy right away. This is because there's a bunch of defenders that need clearing, which GG is going to take care of, obviously.
Here I am. Awaiting your fire. Want to dance? There.
But deploys now.
Doesn't matter. Doing shields higher, pal.
Here I am. Can I sing John?
The AoE on GG's explosions really does help a lot in terms of actually DPSing the waves down. Like, you might also notice that I'm trying to time my skill activations with where the taunts are. For example, there was a shield guard on where
I was very impressed by everyone's
Spot was
performance.
blocking, so I activated GG
fantastic.
skill so that we're basically hitting the defender while also being kind of close to the payload. If you got that, that's cool, but it's not a mechanic that you'll have to be thinking about too much anyway. But yeah, this is the 6th stage. We are now at the boss. LT6. This is the boss stage. This is for all the marbles. The pattern's going to be the same though. We just want to dump our non-Vanguard most expensive unit. So you, get out of my
My drones are
hand.
ready, Doctor. Should I scout ahead?
And we're going to be positioning our units in a particular way. Vanguards go here.
Understood. In position.
Okay, this is very convenient. I can do the recuperation trick.
Everyone, get ready for battle.
I'm listening. Take aim.
Relax, I'm almost
Got it. What are your orders?
Remember to give it all this info.
Waiting orders.
Oh, we're ending on 4-1 GG. That's fine. It is what it is. Second DPS unit goes on this spot facing right side.
Okay, I'll do it.
Down you go.
Can also, like, the reason why I deploy my vanguards like this is because of the boss mechanics. It targets the 2 closest units with its barrage of attacks, basically.
Time to teach these rats.
No move can escape my sight.
And I deployed my supporter here in front just as an additional layer of blocking. Just to be a dick, I guess.
Everyone, follow me.
I'm gonna do this because there's a bit of a leakage for some reason. Actually, I can just do this.
Alright,
It's
then.
fine.
Down you go.
We're taking 7 years to build our Goldenglow, by the way, which is a bit of a low roll, but it is what it is.
Weaknesses.
Ba-ba-bum.
Handle with care. Can I really do it? I'm so tense. The distance. There!
got it.
I'm gonna get you out of there because I'm gonna need you for later. And you get in
I've got
here.
this.
Ansel goes on this spot facing downwards. The supporters on this spot dying don't really matter because they're just meat shields anyway.
Always used. Leverage.
And now that we have full stacks Goldenglow, we should be beating this stage.
Fire! Oh, just in a minute.
Got it.
Precision equipment isn't cheap. Remember to give it all this info. World War always won with no experience. Gotta wait for please.
And now that's the boss, dead. And we're pretty much beating this stage. Pretty simple and easy enough.
In position.
I'm gonna put my Ethan here, I suppose, for no particular reason really. And third DPS unit, once you've killed the boss, goes on this spot facing right side. It was a bit tricky because this start was diabolically slow compared to what I usually do in my test runs. But it's fine. Oh, something sussy is happening at the bottom lane.
I must.
Ah, why does she cost 58? Hello?
Got it. Let's take it slow. Here I am. Got it. There's all right clear.
Yeah, fine. Ready for the shield starting now. Got it.
And this should be good to go. We don't
Whatever you
need you
say.
here.
Down you go.
Honestly, I'm just gonna put this just to stall that guy a bit more. Why not?
I'm so tense. Can I feel this for me, please?
And this is pretty much LT5, like... Okay, it was a bit of a slow start, but... I mean, it's a low-end guide, right? Some weird stuff can happen, I guess, is all I can really say. And you can take some liberties just like I did. I put my spot here. This was a really slow start compared to what I usually run with. But yeah, be sure to be flexible in case really weird stuff happens. Ideally, no one leaks and you get your 2 vanguards here ready to go. Ready to go and blocking, while also having Goldenglow actually just making sure that leak doesn't happen because you actually have the DPS right off the bat. But what can I say? But yeah, you yourself should also have stronger units at your disposal. If you have like another DPS unit, 6-star DPS unit that's not just Goldenglow, that wouldn't happen. So yeah. This is pretty much this Arknights SSS tower.
Got a little, didn't I?
I came, I saw, I conquered, and I am going to receive the secret medal. That's the secret medal right there. And this is the low-end guide for Arknights SSS War-torn Wilderness for the secret medal. If you like the content, feel free to like and subscribe, I suppose. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Deuces.